Greetings to everyone, especially to our respective lecturer Dr. Sharen Shafi'i. We are students from International Trade and Finance Group A going to present about Group Assignment International Financing Facilities offered by MAYBANK Berhad. Today, the main purpose of this presentation is to introduce 5 financing facilities which our Group 8 has chosen from MAYBANK. First is overdraft facilities. Second is bankers acceptance facilities. Third is export credit refinancing facilities. Fourth is factoring facilities. Last but not least is trust receipt facilities. To know more knowledge about MAYBANK Berhad, let's have a look on the next slide.
Hi everyone, have a good day. I'm Naimna here, one of the group member of Group 8. Now I'm going to be available a straightforward video presentation dependent on my part, which is about the overdraft facility in MAYBANK. Alright, before I go to the main point, let me to give a short and simple introduction based on what is the overdraft facility actually. An overdraft facility is a financial facility or instrument that enables us to withdraw money from our bank accounts, either from current accounts or saving accounts even if we do not have any bank balance. Like any other credit facility, the bank levies an interest rate when we avail the overdraft facility. Thus, we should typically have to pay a fixed interest rate to avail an overdraft limit. Let's we have a look on what are the advantages of an overdraft facility. Overdraft facility has the advantages of flexibility, which means provides us the freedom to decide how and when we have to make the repayments, as there are no fixed repayment schedules that we need to adhere to. The next advantage is we need to pay only for interest what we use. For more details, that we will only be charged interest on the amount that we actually use from the overdraft and not the total amount overdraft limit that we are granted by the bank. Let's we move to the disadvantages of an overdraft facility. There are a number of disadvantages when opting for an overdraft loan. Here are a few we might want to consider. The first one is higher interest rates. Although an overdraft facility allows for flexible payments, we will be charged higher interest rates for this facility if we compare with other resources of borrowing. Apart from that, risk of reduction in limit also known as one of the disadvantages of an overdraft facility. Overdraft facility is a temporary loan and undergoes regular revisit by the bank. Hence, it runs a risk of a decrease in the limit or withdrawal of the limit. Reduction in the withdrawal of limit may happen usually when company financials may represent poor performance. Hence, the facility may be withdrawn especially when the company may require it the most. Other than that, an overdraft facility also known as an unstable credit line. This is due to the bank has the right to reduce our overdraft limit or ask for repayment at any time. However, we will probably only do so if we get into financial difficulties or if we don't have any money going into our account. If we continually maximum out our overdraft, we may find it difficult to get credit elsewhere. As we know that still there are got some questions among everyone that why we should use an overdraft facility. Actually, an overdraft facility should ideally be used as a short-term funding option and when emergency situation arises. But we have to bear in mind that we should not use an overdraft facility to finance our spending. One should also remember that an overdraft is really another form of a loan, so it should not be treated as extra cash line we have in our bank account to use whenever we fancy. Otherwise, an overdraft facility can be a good option when used it wisely, but it also can be a liability when we are not smart about it. So proceed with caution. Thank you so much. That's all from me.
Hi everyone. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Sharvini, metri number 269521. Today, I'm going to present about Bankers Acceptance Facilities which has been offered by MAYBANK Berhad Malaysia. Without wasting our time, let's have a look on our next slide. Thank you. What is the definition of Bankers Acceptance? A banker's acceptance means is a commercial bank draft requiring the bank to pay the holder of instrument a specific amount on a specific date, which is typically 90 days from the date of issue but can range from 1 to 180 days. Besides that, the banker's acceptance is issued at a discount and paid in full when it becomes due. Moreover, the difference between the value at maturity and the value when issued is the interest. If the banker's acceptance is presented for payment before the due date, then the amount paid is less by the amount of interest that would have been earned if held to the maturity. Why do you need a banker acceptance? The reason is you get to gain access to a competitive rate of financing as the funding rate is based on the ringgit interbank market rate quoted on a daily basis. Here are the three features of the financing bankers acceptance product offered by MAYBANK. First is minimum financing amount is 50,000 or equivalent. Second is marginal of advance, financing up to 100% of invoice value rounded downward to the nearest thousand. Third is period of financing, minimum financing period of 21 days and maximum of 365 days, which means 1 year. The next slide, I'm going to present about pros and cons of bankers acceptance facilities which has been offered by MAYBANK. There were three pros of bankers acceptance. First is cost saving, competitive financing rate. Second is liquidity, is your company's cash flow. Third is simple requirement, it means simple documentation requirement. The cons of bankers' acceptance. First is financial analysis. Lack of banks deal with customer of financial issues. Second is suitability. Banks tend to be very picky when it comes to offer like this. Third is collateral. Banks prefer to reinforce of their own security with the help of collateral. So how do you can apply? First is you may contact the nearest MAYBANK branch around you. Second is you may visit MAYBANK to your website for further information and application. On the next slide, got provided example of bankers acceptance form. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, so now I'm going to present one of the MAYBANK product which is Export Credit Refinancing or ECR. So ECR is actually another credit facility to finance export, and this scheme was launched by Bank Negara Malaysia in 1989, and BNM also has made it available the pre-shipment ECR and also the post-shipment ECR through the commercial banks, and currently the role of BNM has been taken over by the Exim Bank. So there are two types of facilities that are available for exporter, and one of it is pre-shipment ECRI, which is the export credit refinancing pre-shipment. Is a short-term financing to direct or indirect exporters to promote export of manufactured product, agricultural products and primary commodities with funding from Exim Bank. And this facility also offered shall be financings of purchase from domestic or foreign suppliers before shipment of eligible goods under ECRI scheme. So next, what are the risks of this facility? So the risks, of course, there are risks. So for the exporters who fail to settle the matured ECRI, they are not allowed to further utilize the facilities, and the recovery process, including the legal process, may be taken against the exporters who fail to settle the matured ECRI. to recover the amount due. So of course, if the exporter having a problem in terms of the payment obligation, they can contact the banks to further discuss the alternative that need to be taken. Hello everyone, so now I'm going to present one of the MAYBANK product, which is Export Credit Refinancing or ECR. So ECR is actually another credit facility to finance export, and this scheme was launched by Bank Negara Malaysia in 1989, and BNM also has made it available, the pre-shipment ECR and also the post-shipment ECR through the commercial banks, and currently the role of BNM has been taken over by the Exim Bank.
Hi, my name is Nur Atika binti Azmi and my metric number is 259081. I will proceed with factoring. Okay, what is factoring? Factoring, receivable factoring, or also known as invoice finance, is when a company buys a debt or invoice from another company. Factoring is a very common method used by exporters to help accelerate their cash flows. The process enables the exporter to draw up to 80% of the sales invoice value at the point of delivery of the goods and when the sales invoice is raised. Okay, for the factoring process, first step is sell and deliver products or services to businesses and issues invoice due in 30 days to 90 days. For the second, set up a factoring account. Only once after the first cycle, skip the steps. Third, sell your invoices to the factoring company. Fourth, factoring company wires an advance to your bank account. Fifth, your debtors pay the invoices. Sixth, payments are deposited into a temporary reserve account. And for the last is factor discounts, fees, and advance and wires the balance to your bank account. Okay, what benefits we using factoring? Okay, for the first benefits is enhanced liquidity. It can improve your company cash flows as you are short in a cash, so you can go to the factoring company and apply for factoring. For the second is strong financial. Settle your payments obligation promptly, and the last one is flexible. Allow you to finance goods and services related to your business. Okay, how to apply in MAYBANK? You can go to the website of MAYBANK and download this application form and submit to the nearest branches of MAYBANK. Okay, what is the advantages of the factoring? First, it reduces the credit risk of the sellers. And for the second is improve liquidity and cash flow in the organization. Third, it leads to improvement of cash in hand, help business to pay its creditors in a timely manner, which helps in negotiating better discount terms. And for the last one, factoring arrangement can be put in place faster than a traditional business loan. And for the disadvantages, factoring may be unsuitable for business that have one or two customers. This is due to providers stipulating low construction limits. For the second is the cost of factoring is high. And third, bad behavior of factor which the debtor can hamper the goodwill of the company. And for the last one, factors often avoid taking responsibility for risky debtors. So the burden of managing such debtor is always in the company. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and greeting to all. My name is Siti Nurul Atika binti Muhammad Amin. My matrix number is 272454 and I'm from Group MAYBANK. Okay, so the next financial facility that we're going to present is trust receipt. Okay, so first of all, I will explain to you guys about the definition of trust receipt. Okay, so the first one is trust receipt can be defined as a financial document intended to buy back by a bank and a business that has received delivery of goods but cannot pay for the purchase until after the inventory is sold. The next one is short-term financing provided by the bank to buyers for their working capital. The last one is trust receipt is a flexible financing facility that allows the customers to collect local or foreign purchases before payment of the bills. Okay, so the next slide is we're gonna see the advantages of the trust receipt. Okay, so the first one is the flexibility to settle early, partly, or fully. The next one is the principal and interest only payable on maturity. The third one is the working capital or cash flow is not tied up and can be deployed for other business purposes. Last but not least, it is 100% financing, competitive rates, and no commitment fee. Okay, so the next slide is we're going to see the disadvantages of trust receipt. Okay, so the first one is to maintain the inventory obtained to trust credit separately. Next one is the bank loss physical control of the goods, and the third one is the excessive control from the bank, which means bank apply lots of conditions to the customer. The last one is got overdue interest is pretty and quite high. Next, we're going to see is the benefits that MAYBANK offer for trust receipt. Okay, first of all, it will enhance the liquidity. Means it will automatically and it will really helps to improve the business company's cash flow. The next one is the second one is negotiation power. It will help to settle the payment obligation promptly and have better negotiation terms with the business counterpart. The third one, the trust receipt also is flexible. Okay, it can help to cover wide scope of financing, including the carrier charges, import duty, and early or partial payments are allowed. The last one is it is very fast progress and process. Immediate possession and faster disbursement of the goods or repayment is upon maturity. Okay, so this is the basically the flow process that I would love to show to you guys, which contain of 5 steps, which is basically like usual things is the customer have to submit the PR request to the bank and then send original BL for goods release, and then to the representative bank, and then the bank will make the payment, and then pay principal and interest at due date to the bank. Okay, so this is the example. As you can see here is the example of the trust receipt application form from MAYBANK, which the customers can get from the MAYBANK account at their branch. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.